Hi everyone, welcome back to the Dr. Sia channel. In the video here today, we're going to be talking even more about disorganized attachment and the cycle of abuse that happens for individuals with disorganized attachment. Let's get started. All right, so with disorganized attachment and the cycle of abuse, I already have a video here on YouTube on it. So if you haven't looked it up, just look it up. It's a good video. It's one of my most watched videos, and people tend to appreciate it. So have a look at that one. Well, disorganized attachment and the cycle of abuse continues in part through a failed regulation in individuals with disorganized attachment. So what do I mean by that? Most people with the disorganized attachment are not able to look within themselves and heal or soothe themselves. In fact, any time that they would try to do that throughout their childhoods, they would have been attacked, they would have been yelled at, screamed at, hurt, abandoned, rejected, cast away, and so on and so forth. So internally, the abuse continues as the person has to, in a way, within themselves, feel hurt and harmed. And when then they seek to be soothed, seek to be calmed or helped or cared for, often because they are looking for that to happen from outside of themselves, like because they go, oh, I can't help me, I can't do anything for me. Inside it's just chaos. It's just hurt and suffering and pain and more pain. Then the only way I can do that is by making sure that the world stops giving me pain. To get rich, and then the pain will stop. To find a really handsome man and he'll take care of me. To find a really beautiful woman and she'll do this or that for me. So in that sense, it's like they're not actually trying they can't, they're not allowed. Their attachment does not allow them to heal themselves, soothe themselves, focus on themselves, help themselves. And if you think about it, all therapies that they would have gone through would be in the focus of trying to make that happen while stopping all the chaos that happens outside. So in a sense, what then the cycle of abuse that happens there is, for these people, because they can't control their own emotions, regulate their emotions, help themselves with their own thoughts, then they're just trying to control the world. They're trying to make sure that anyone who could say anything negative would stay away, or even worse, be invited so that they can defeat them, you know? Yeah, bring on all these hurtful people, let them have their say, and I'll crush them, I'll beat them up, I will attack them, I'll curse at them, or I'll have a verbal argument with them, you know, I'll put them in their place, or something like that. So then when you look at it, disorganized attachment, people with a disorganized attachment, they end up in an extremely chaotic life. Because more often than not, they're seeking for the world to stop hurting them. You know, if I can't regulate my fear, well, maybe what I can do is just make sure that everyone who has any potential to be anywhere scary goes away. But then who are the kind of people who are scary? We're caring, nurturing, loving, soothing people are scary. So you make all those people go away, and what remains? Abusive, violent, criminal, negative, critical, judgmental, or whatever people. So then their lives become chaotic. And you might recognize this for you too. I mean, you know, let me know if this is what happens for you. If you have a disorganized attachment. Again, we're not here to judge. We're just here to understand, like, you know, talk about things. And if you might find that happens for you too. That when someone is caring and nurturing and soothing and loving, you distance yourself from them, or you believe that they are that way, but then you actually realize, oh no, they're quite very toxic and really harmful and really hurtful. And there you are again in that cycle of abuse. So if it is like that for you, or for a patient you know, or for a friend you have, or anything like that, one of the most important things to be thinking about is this idea that there are actually things that you can do before you start trying to control the external world, make sure that the world looks in a way that you actually feel good about it. Start regulating your feelings within. And the first thing that you can start trying to regulate is your anxiety. When you can regulate your anxiety, and there's plenty of sources on how to regulate your anxiety, from cognitive stuff you can do to psychodynamic stuff you can do to breathing or whatever, I don't really care. If you can regulate your anxiety, you're really in a much better spot, because if you can do that from within you, you're in a much better place than trying to do that by trying to change the world and control the world, because that's just going to be, you get anxious about anything that's healthy and good for you. That's just truth. You will more often than not get anxious about things that are good for you. So if that's the case, then it means you trying to avoid things that are good for you really puts you in a harmful place. So that's not a good idea. It's better to start regulating that anxiety from within, and then when you can regulate that anxiety, then you can start actually clearly seeing, all right, wait a second, I tend to feel safe with hurtful, harmful men, hurtful, harmful women, hurtful, harmful partners, and I tend to feel kind of really anxious with people who are nice, caring, loving, and so on and so forth. But if I can regulate this anxiety, then it's going to be easier for me to be with caring, loving people and not just kind of latch on to hurtful, harmful people. So that's just an example. If you enjoyed this video, let me know. If you like to know more about disorganized attachment and the cycle of abuse, let me know what you would like to know about it. I'm happy to talk a lot about it. Seems like it's one of the most popular videos on the channels, but I'm surprised no one's kind of really saying, hey, can you tell me more about this or that about abuse or disorganized attachment and the cycle of abuse? So let me know, and I'm happy to make videos about it. Thank you, and I'll see you again for the next one.